You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Hey entrepreneurs, it's your podcast mogul Phil Better here. I am excited for this episode as I know you are. Before we jump into this episode, I'm going to ask you if you are also a podcaster and you're looking to grow your podcast or monetize your podcast, make sure you stay till the end of the episode. I have a special deal for you, or a special offer, if you will. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's jump into the episode.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the podcast mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, your host with the most, Phil Better. Got to fix my hair here. Today, I would love to welcome our special guests. They help corporate executives lead and succeed at transformational change in both their personal and professional life. They're an executive coach. They're a strategic change consultant specializing in helping mid to senior level leaders to remain relevant in today's changing world. And like, if you don't know, when we're recording this, a huge announcement was just made with Microsoft and Google and AI. So obviously, very, very apropos that we have my guest today, because she can help us figure out the changes that you can take in your life. So Julie, thank you so much for being here.
Phil, thank you so much. I really enjoy podcasting, and this is just a great opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm so glad to have you on. I gave a bit of a bio, and my bios are always meh. I love hearing it from my guests. Can you please just introduce yourself so my audience can get to know you in your own words?
Sure. I'm Julie Noonan. I own Julie Noonan Consulting. I started that company 3 years ago during COVID when I got laid off at 57 years old. I was kind of forced to take that leap, you know what I mean? So my the people that I work with the most are leaders who are in that last 10 to 15 years of their before retirement. And of course, we're redefining retirement all the time. So, yeah.
Depending on where you are in the world, it could be 70 years old now. Who knows?
Never, actually. A lot of my clients are deciding that they're never going to retire, and that's cool too. But that's kind of my focus, is helping people make changes that they want to make in their lives. Some of those changes include becoming an entrepreneur.
I love that. I love that. So we know kind of the spark that caused you to jump into this entrepreneurial world. Were you an entrepreneur before having to be laid off because of COVID, or were you always a 9-to-5er and then all of a sudden you feel the boot and you're like, let's go for it, let's try this?
Well, I have been laid off 4 times in my life. And so the third time that I was laid off, I started my company, And then I kind of got scared and went right back to corporate not corporate, but consulting when I had the opportunity. This time when it happened, I said, you know what? I had such a good time being my own boss the first time. I'm making this happen this time. This is going to be my dream. And I have learned so much over the last 3 years. I will tell you.
I can only imagine, because I've been doing this not 3 years. I've been 2 years now. 2021 is kind of when I would say I officially started. My journey started in 2022, like yours, but didn't get kicked in until in 2021. So I'm excited to hear all about your changes. So where were you working before the inevitable change of 2020, which has changed the landscape of the world?
Right. I call it the Great Band-Aid ripoff, actually. And
good name. I fully enjoy that because it is true. A lot of the people I talked with, 2020 was the year that they either jumped in or did that big thing that they were scared of because they had no choice.
Correct. Exactly. And one of the things that I love to do is take advantage of opportunities. So when things happen, and even if they're not the greatest thing that could happen, I always try to look for, okay, how can I make this benefit me and my family? So that's what I was doing in 2020.
What did
I was in consulting? Actually, I was in a consulting organization.
So you were helping business leaders, businesses do what they need to do. Your boss was like, sorry, bye. And then you're on your own. You dust off this just consulting business that you had before, the little entrepreneurial thing. And you started, but what made you choose the mid-level execs?
What made me choose, and they're not really mid-level, they're just at the end of their formal career. So it could be any leader who is within that 10 to 15 year range, mainly because number one, I'm a boomer and I talk to boomers a lot. Most of my clients are boomers, and they're really struggling. They're really struggling with being relevant till they're ready to leave. And they're feeling like the world is going by without them, and they have no way to kind of catch up. Technology is running amok all over them. Some of them do not understand the values of the new generations. They don't understand. They had to start working remote. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't. So there's just a lot of turmoil in that population. And I love working with that population because they're the first ones to say, I'm not ever going to say that I need help. Right? So you have to kind of talk them into saying out loud, yeah, I'm kind of struggling here. And then once that happens, the groundswell opens and they realize they have so much opportunity still. They're not on the downside of their career. They're on the upside of the rest of their life. And so that's what I keep trying to engender in this population. And they're also very, very scared of being let go, of being put out to pasture because of ageism and age discrimination. I probably would not have been able to get the same level of job as I had before when I got laid off, just because of my age.
Yeah, I know right now is a very weird time for all generations because like I'm an elder millennial, so I'm just off the cusp of the Gen Xers, right? So I was a Gen Xer, if you will. As an elder millennial, you're kind of like a Gen X light, if you will. It's true, because we were promised the same thing the Gen Xers and the boomers were promised, right? We were promised, hey, you come work for this company, 25 years later, you get to retire, nice gold watch, a good fat pension, you're pretty much good for life. You've put in your service, you can obviously stay longer, but now that we move further and further down, and like you look at this and like you said, a lot of them are like fearful that they're going to be put out to pasture without their pension after putting so many years into exactly what some
anymore.
If you're lucky to have a pension,
well, they're lucky to have a matching 401k.
That's right. Like it's so weird that like all these things we were promised and we're not, and it's the companies still want us to be so loyal to them. Yet they're not being loyal to us. They can fire you on a whim. But they ask for the 2 weeks. So with the older generation getting told all this, and then they're coming to the end and they're like, wait, what? I don't have this longevity anymore. I don't have this security. Of course, I can't jump into another job at my field because like they know I only have 5 years left. And they're like, why would we waste money? This is a waste of time, even though the knowledge and the value is there. How do you get them to like get over that giant fear? Because that's a huge fear. And I'm speaking because of my dad, who went from insurance all the way to retirement, and he was like, I have to go back to work. Like, how do you get them to get through that loop?
Well, the very first thing that I do is talk with them, hopefully before that happens, if it happens to them. I like to talk to them beforehand, and it's almost like mindset planning as opposed to financial planning for your retirement. So it's mindset planning. So it's what do you want to do with your life? Most of them cannot answer it because as boomers, we were brought up that we we identified with what we did with our job so much that I am the job, that it's hard to separate ourselves from what we do. And so I start there, and I start with the values, and I have a values assessment that I work on with them. And once they identify the values that they want to uphold during the rest of their career and or, past that, then we talk about, okay, so let's break down all of the preconceived notions that you have. Let's break down, are you going to stay until quote unquote retirement? Let's just take retirement off the table. Let's just say, let's look at the next 30 years of your life or the 50 years of your life. What would you most enjoy doing? What would you most enjoy contributing to the world? It could be in a profession, it could be in a paid position, but it also could be other places as well. What I'm finding is that a lot of my clients like that planning process, mainly because they really haven't thought about it. And when retirement is years and years down the road, you tend not to think about it. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden you wake up, you're 60 years old, and you can officially retire in 2 years, if you can afford to. You can officially retire in 2 years, and 2 years is not a long time.
Oh.
And so it kind of hits you in the face if you haven't already planned out what it is you want to do with the rest of your life. So I like to kind of break down everything that just blue sky it with them. A lot of times what comes out of it is, at one point, I really wanted to start my own company. And I say, you have hit retirement age at exactly the right time. Because let me tell you, there's a lot you can do that you don't have to. You can use the skills you already have. You can use the contacts you already have. You can use the whole 60 years of your life and the relationships that you've built, and you can build a business in a matter of weeks, and it just blows their mind. So,
yeah, because again, because of the mindset, they thought an entrepreneur, they needed at least 150 capital to open this brick and mortar, and they forgot that the internet and websites are dirt cheap. You can hire someone to do the whole website, the whole funnel for you if you want.
Yeah, you can hire your grandchildren.
Even better, even free labor there. You can go to your grandkids and they'll be they probably will do a better job than someone you pay.
Yeah.
And you're building a family business and you can teach the grandkids some skills that oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Jesus. Give me a second. I need to call my dad and tell him that he needs to start a business with my nephew.
Why not? Well, and the thing about it is you don't have to have capital. You don't have to have a physical product that you touch. You just have to have knowledge and skills that you want to offer to the world. I have nothing tangible in my business. My business doesn't even own my car. But my business is very, very profitable because I know the value that I'm selling, both to my coaching clients as well as to my corporate clients when I do change management strategies for them. So a lot of what I do is remind them of that their value, their skills, the experience that they have, all of that can be translated into value into the world. And you can get paid for that.
You can get paid handsomely for the knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who's been working for 30 odd years has more knowledge and skills than anybody. And there's people this is why I love podcasting, because I get to share my knowledge, but also learn so much from my guests. And it's like, there is someone right now who's starting their career in consulting, we'll say, and they have no idea what they're doing. And they're hearing, well, you can help people transition. They're like, I'm a millennial, I'm a Gen Z, I know all about this technology. I help my parents all the time, or I help my grandparents all the time. I can teach this now. Oh my God. Or, a boomer who's listening to this and going, wait, I can sell my knowledge? Because right now I feel is the peak of the knowledge era. That's what people want. They want knowledge.
Exactly. And one of the programs that I actually run is called reverse mentoring, where I do partner the younger generation with the older generation very strategically, start with talking about the values of both so that they can get on the same page as far as the bottom line values, what they're trying to accomplish. And then the elder mentors the younger in a typical, here's what I would do leadership wise, or here's what I've tried before and it didn't work. Maybe it will work for you. Let's examine the situation. Risk assessment is huge because if you've been there, done that, you know the risks and you can help the younger generation avoid those. Vice versa, those guys have a whole different viewpoint on the demographics, the culture, the current culture, the social media and how it works, new technologies. All of that is stuff that I'm not going to necessarily pick up on as I'm going through my regular job, my 9-to-5 job. I might not pick up on that unless I'm in the IT department or I'm working on a big IT project as a business owner. But the bottom line is I can learn a whole lot from that generation and they can learn a whole lot from me. And at the end of the day, what I really, really want is when I do officially stop working. However, I don't think I'm ever going to stop working. But if I actually do stop working, at least the companies and the people that I have touched are going to be successful because of what I was able to help them with. So that's a legacy to me. That's what I want this younger generation to be incredibly successful.
I love that you're doing the reverse mentoring where you have the younger generation teaching the older and the older sharing more, not more knowledge, but the experience that they had. And that is so valuable to us, to the younger generation, because we don't have necessarily time to do that. We don't have 30 years to work in a company because a company may not even keep us 3 years. So having someone who's been able to play the political games that are in a company, which are prevalent, but also understand how to talk with managers that may not be the best type of manager and not just blow up at them, but know how to work the system, because that's knowledge that takes years to learn.
Yeah. Or how do you deal with a difficult personality? in a professional way without giving up your value set, without being inauthentic. I had to learn that over many, many years. I was a firebrand. I just pretty much said what I thought I needed to say, regardless of how it was coming across. So I had to learn a lot, via trial and error. But now when I'm coaching, particularly I have some high performer individuals who I'm coaching for a company that I work with. And it's just, they struggle a lot with the political piece, like you said. They also struggle with what's the right way to get the result that I want out of this person who has power over me.
That's always something that you need to learn, how to properly ask to your boss.
Correct. Without being a kiss ass.
Without all the negative side effects. Like, what are the positive ways of going? Like, I know how hard it was to figure out the motivations or how to get that thinking around so that I can get the narcissistic boss to help me out, or, the selfish person over here, or the manager that just is looking out for themselves because they know that, hey, the big tops are moving around. So that means the little people are going to move. So I'm more covering my ass than your ass. Yeah. So this is, oh my God. I want to know.
Yes.
How did you find, let's go to a tip for my audience, more specifically, because let's say they're jumping into the world of consulting. How did you land your first client that may have not been a direct contact, someone that was in your network, maybe someone outside your network?
Oh, man. I do a lot of content on LinkedIn, a lot. And I have kept up my extended network over the last however long LinkedIn's been around. I was one of the first early adopters of LinkedIn. Let me put it that way. So I have cultivated my network to the nth degree. So I know that when I have, some time coming up where I have some time to sell a bit of work or project, or I've got a subcontractor that I know I could sell out and they need some help finding a project, I know who to go to just based on my network. So I will contact them and say, hey, we haven't talked in however long, or I've done some work with so-and-so, you may know them. I have this thing, this opportunity for a change management consultant. I heard that you were working on an ERP implementation. Is there a chance that you need a change agent or a change manager on your project? And so that's paying attention to your network and really keeping up with those folks will go miles and miles and miles toward anything you want to do going forward in life. Regardless of if you want to get into consulting, if you want to get into, coaching, if you want to get into any kind of business, the relationships are what makes the sales not even sales. It's not hard.
So it's just cultivating relationships and over time providing as much value someone's going to reach out, or do the outreach yourself.
Yeah, and I do outreach intentionally every Friday. I have 50 people that I contact every Friday.
I love
that. Some of them I know, some of them I don't, but they know people that I know, and I will send them a tool maybe that I've developed, or I'll send them a case study of a project that I just completed. Not trying to sell them anything, but just sharing some value. All I'm doing is planting seeds for when they do need what I offer, they'll come back to me, I
love that. Oh, the long-term strategy, not the short-term win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's also being lost with this bump of entrepreneurial. People are looking for those quick $100,000 in 30 days instead of I'd rather have that lifetime be $1 million from one person instead of just a one shot of 100,000.
Well, one of my biggest clients right now, I've had this client for 3 years running, and I have tripled my contract with them over 3 years, and I'm doing half the work.
That what's your secret?
Yeah.
Like that, I think everybody wants to know that secret, but we're gonna keep that.
It's value. It's pure and simple. When you get the opportunity to go in and you perform, and you hit the nail on the head, and you're good at it, you're respectful of the company, you're respectful of the company's culture, but you offer them the opportunity for some innovation. That whole mindset builds on itself. All of a sudden, every project that they have, they know you can do, whether it's your specialty or not. Like this next project that I'm doing for them, I've really never done it before.
But that's the entrepreneurial spirit. We build the plane as we jump off the cliff, right?
And what's the fun? That's the fun part, being a consultant. It's the fun part of being an entrepreneur, is you get to pick and choose. Once you feel like that you're stable enough to put food on the table, I guess, you get to pick and choose what you do. And if you don't find joy in something, you can turn it down.
I want to go to a memory over the last 3 years, because it's relatively new. I love this. You're a relatively new entrepreneur, but it feels like you're a seasoned entrepreneur, because you're kind of in the same boat that you were doing beforehand when you were a consultant. Now you're just doing it on your own. You built your own business, so you got the legs to run. So I was wondering if you have a memory that kind of cements why you do what you do. Either it was a win that a client had and they came back super excited, or it was something you were able to achieve, like, climb Mount Kilimanjaro, if you will. If you climb that mountain already, I'm going to just hang up, walk out, because you can have the show.
I'm not the outdoorsy type. I'd rather get my nails.
Oh, I need my nails done, but that's another story. So yeah, do you have a memory you care to share with us?
Oh, there's so many great ones, I have to say. I would say probably when I signed my first contract as a legal entity myself. Because I really and truly could not even believe somebody was paying me what they were paying me to do what I love. And when I looked at the figure on the paper, it was so much more than I would have made being, in a consultancy. And frankly, I felt vindicated.
Oh.
I felt a little bit vindicated, I must say, that, this particular consultancy, postulated for quite a while, and on my performance review, she can't sell. She needs to sell more. My whole thing is my work sells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go out and, take people to lunch and do this. I just need to do a really great job and the work will come, which it did. But when I had that contract in my hand and I had freaking sold it.
How good did that feel? Oh, I could tell that laugh. Oh,
I wanted to take a picture and send it to them.
I was going to ask, did you go over and just go, look at this, I can't sell, I have to sell more, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was nice. And certainly I would never burn any bridges, for sure.
But you came close.
I came really
close, right? You came close?
I came close to it with one person, yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
But I have that. Don't worry. I have that same person when I get that good contract that I'm just going to be like, you didn't think I was worth it? Boom. But I understand. I have that. It's just that's the one person you just want to shut them up. But no,
Right.
we're putting out karma, good karma. They'll have what's
Excellent.
coming.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's your mindset. It's a lot of my coaching almost turns into it turns into helping people realize, even when they're going through a rough time, that they're still worthy.
Mhm.
Because when you're going through a rough time, those saboteurs, that internal dialogue gets sour.
Yes.
And, when you're in it, you can't see it. You can't dig your own self out. That's when my coaching, really takes off with some people, is I'm able to get them into the mindset that they then feel like I am worthy and I can succeed. And damn it, I'm going to.
Yes. I love it. I personally love it because I consult for podcasting and I get to help independent podcasters and entrepreneurs, podcasters, when they see the numbers coming in, they're seeing the funnel popping off. They're like, we're getting more sales. My biggest win that I love is I got an email from my client, Lloyd, who runs the Money Grows on Trees podcast, an amazing podcast. And when he told me that he hit a number thanks to the podcast, I was over the moon. Like I'm like, I just wanted you to have a podcast because you have knowledge that needs to be shared. But like the fact that it also helped him build his business into the next level, and he's big things. Anyways, that's not about me. This is about wins for you and how you're doing. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Since you're still such a new year, let's look at it. 10 years. 10 years in the game as an entrepreneur. Where is Julie? Is Julie hightailing it, like having a team of 7,000, or she's off on the beach of Bahamas, relaxing, getting her nails done while her business just populates for her?
I will tell you, I have worked on a particular dream, a personal dream of mine for 7 years. Just last weekend, I took the first step. And the first step was I bought a fifth wheel RV.
Ooh.
My husband and I are going to move into the RV full time.
Yes.
In October. And I'm going to continue to run my business from the road. And we're going to basically tour the United States. We're going to see people with a typical job, you get 3 weeks off a year if you're lucky. We would never get to see all the people that we want to see.
52 weeks.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to do. And so, it's been 7 years in the making. I've really thought it through, and taking that first step was just this last weekend. So in 10 years, I'm going to be in my RV at the beach in the Keys. Because I live in Florida now. I'm getting there. We're going to winter in the Keys, and then we're going to travel all summer.
I love it.
And I'm going to be coaching still. I won't be doing the consulting work. That's a little too heavy. But by that point, totally
full on coaching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what's great is you can travel to some places and do in-person coaching instead of virtual. Oh, I love that. Julie, we are coming to the end, and I hate it because I'm having a fun time with you.
You're wonderful, Phil.
Oh, thank you. I'm always nervous before I jump onto a podcast. Still, after doing over 400 episodes of podcasting in my life, I still get nervous because it's like I don't know what's going to come. It's something that I can't control, so I always get nervous. But when I get to talking, it's the best time. I have so much fun talking with my guests, and especially with you, because you relate kind of like what my father went through. Mm-hmm. So I have that great connection. But we're going to jump into the spark question, which is by Seek Discomfort.
Okay.
If you don't know, Seek Discomfort, to my audience, is an amazing YouTube channel that wants to spark conversations between strangers, because strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. So Julie, this is very interesting because it's kind of the 10-year, but it's not. What's your moonshot? A dream that's so big that it scares you. the one that you whisper to the secret soul that you yet to tell the people. What is your moonshot dream?
Wow. I would say to be a sought after keynote speaker and pull down, 100,000 a speed.
Whoa. Oh, that's definitely possible. That's definitely possible with the energy that you bring and the like, I'm going to say like a grandmother feel. You have like this grandmother warming feel that you just want I guarantee it that moonshot dream is definitely happening. I'm calling it on this.
All right. I'll take it.
When you hit that, I want you to come back here and I want to say, I hit it. I hit my moonshot.
Well,
all right.
It's going to be 10 years either.
Yeah, it's going to be even soon. Next year, I'm going to get a call saying, hey, Phil, I'm coming back on the podcast. I'm going to be like, Julie, already? Already? My God. Julie, I'm going to... Mine is really a moonshot because I want to captain a starship. That's my moonshot. I want to pilot a ship and be one of the people that goes to another planet. That's the big, big moonshot dream I have that I'm hoping that... Look, if I'm even on a bridge of a starship, I'll be happy. Like, I don't have to captain it. Like, traveling to another planet, that would still fall into the realm of the moonshot. That's my big goal because it's so... I've always been a fan of space from watching Star Wars and Star Trek and, Firefly, all these amazing shows. Brown coat through and through. Serenity. Oh, I cried.
Oh, me too.
Oh, my God. Light as a leaf on the wind. Some PTSD. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, so my moonshot dream is that my goal in life is to help launch 100 million podcasts, and I'm on the roll. So before I die, I want to be responsible or able to help launch 100,000 podcasts. And so far I've launched, I want to say with my partner in our agency, just around 40 podcasts right now. But we're putting it up because we want to hit 100 by the end of the year. So we're on full swing for that. But that brings us to the end, which really is sad because I'm having so much fun talking with you, Julie. I'm going to jump off. I want you to talk to my audience. I want you to tell them where they can connect with you if they are a mid-level, senior, or they're looking to transform their life, because you're the perfect person to help them. So I'm just going to jump off here and the floor is yours.
If you are interested in seeking out a thought partner and you are looking for an executive coach to help you with your transition into whatever's next for you, give me a call. My number is on my website, www.jnoonan.consulting.com.
Excellent. Julie, thank you again for being an amazing guest and sharing those stories with us today.
Thank you, Phil.
To my audience, as you know, the links will be in the show notes. Connect with Julie if you're looking to transform your life. Give her a ring, and I promise you'll have a fun conversation. I can guarantee that. That's the only guarantee I'm going to give you, a fun conversation, because I've had a blast talking with her. So I know you guys will too. And always remember to invest in yourself.
Hey, digital entrepreneurs, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, if you're looking to take your podcast to the next level, like most of these entrepreneurs have taken their business to the next level, to scale it, if you will, make sure you check out my brand new newsletter. Links are down below. It is called the Monetization Mogul Syndicate newsletter, or it could be Feel Better Stories of Monetization Moguls, or Making Moguls is what I do. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. But I want to thank you very much for listening. And as always, remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.